If you walk into a dealership today and finance an average $50,000 new car, you are signing up for a $600 monthly payment on an engine packed with plastic coolant pipes, paper-thin cylinder walls, and twin-scroll turbos designed to fail at 80,000 miles. Meanwhile, sitting in private driveways and back rows across the United States right now are 7 overlooked, dirt-cheap used cars that cost less than $4,000, and they will easily outlast almost every brand-new vehicle rolling off showroom floors in 2026. Badge snobs ignore them, dealership salesmen laugh at them, but professional mechanics buy them in cash for their own teenagers. Today, we are breaking down the 7 dirt-cheap cars nobody is buying in the USA that are absolute mechanical gold mines. Number 1, the Buick LeSabre with the 3800 V6. Let's start with what might be the single most bulletproof American passenger car ever assembled, the 2000 to 2005 Buick LeSabre. Most people under 40 look at this car and see an old person's land yacht with velvet bench seats. But under that massive steel hood sits General Motors' legendary 3.8-liter naturally aspirated 3800 Series 2 V6. An engine so indestructible that mechanics routinely see them driving around with 350,000 miles on the original rotating assembly. This engine features a cast iron block, cast iron cylinder heads, a pushrod valve train with no fragile overhead camshafts, and an ultra-simple timing chain that virtually never stretches or skips a tooth. It is paired with the 1465E 4-speed automatic transmission. While that transmission isn't built for drag racing, in normal daily commuting with fluid changes every 50,000 miles, it shifts like silk for decades. Now, here is the secret you need to know before you buy one on Facebook Marketplace for $3,000. The factory plastic lower intake manifold gaskets and the plastic coolant elbow pipes degrade over time and leak coolant. If you spend $400 to install aftermarket aluminum coolant elbows and upgraded metal reinforced Fel-Pro intake gaskets, you have essentially built a vehicle that will run until the year 2040. You get 28 miles per gallon on the highway, front-wheel drive traction in the snow, and a suspension that glides over potholes while brand new luxury SUVs are cracking their 22-inch low-profile rims. Number 2, the Pontiac Vibe 1 SOPS 8L. Number 2 on our list is the ultimate automotive Trojan horse, the first-generation 2003 to 2008 Pontiac Vibe. When General Motors killed the Pontiac brand, thousands of buyers wrote off the Vibe as cheap American plastic destined for the scrap heap. What 90% of used car shoppers do not know is that the Pontiac Vibe was built in California at the NUMMI joint venture plant between GM and Toyota. Underneath that Pontiac front grille and plastic body cladding, this vehicle is 100% a Toyota Matrix. It runs the world-famous Toyota 1Zazi FE 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engine mated to a legendary ASIN 4-speed automatic transmission. The suspension, the brakes, the electrical harness, the ECU, and the entire drivetrain were designed and manufactured by Toyota in Japan. Because it wears a Pontiac badge instead of a Toyota badge, you can buy a clean Pontiac Vibe in the United States today for 30 to 40% less than the exact same year Toyota Matrix or Corolla. You get 34 miles per gallon on regular unleaded fuel, a fold-flat hard plastic cargo floor that can haul washing machines, and replacement parts available at every AutoZone in the country for pocket change. Keep fresh 5W30 oil in this engine every 5,000 miles, and it will refuse to die. Number 3, the Scion XB 1.5L. If you can get past the quirky box-on-wheels styling, the 2004 to 2006 first-generation Scion XB is one of the smartest sub-$4,000 purchases in America today. Toyota launched the Scion sub-brand to attract young 20-something buyers, but they made one crucial mistake. They built the original XB with genuine, over-engineered Japanese domestic market reliability. Under the short front hood is the Toyota 1NZ FE 1.5-liter 4-cylinder. This is the exact same ultra-reliable, chain-driven engine found in the Toyota Yaris and Echo. There are no direct injection carbon buildup issues, no turbochargers boiling oil, and no complex variable valve lift solenoids waiting to fail. It produces around 103 horsepower, which won't win any highway pulls, but it delivers 35 miles per gallon all day long. The interior packaging is astonishingly spacious. You have more rear legroom and headroom than in a modern midsize crossover. And because the mechanical components are so basic, replacing a water pump, an alternator, or brake pads takes less than an hour in your driveway with basic metric hand tools. And look, if you're shopping for a vehicle right now and you want honest, unfiltered owner data that actually protects your wallet instead of dealership sales spin, hit subscribe to Before You Buy. We break down the real numbers and the mechanical truth on these cars every single week. Number 4, the Mercury Grand Marquis 4.6L. Number 4 on our list is the indestructible backbone of American fleet transportation, the 2003 to 2011 Mercury Grand Marquis. While buyers in the U.S. are currently paying $45,000 for unibody crossovers with tiny turbocharged 3-cylinder engines, you can buy a pristine, low-mileage Grand Marquis from an elderly owner for less than $5,000. This car is built on Ford's legendary Panther platform, the same body-on-frame architecture used in Crown Victoria police interceptors and yellow taxicabs that routinely racked up 500,000 miles of brutal city abuse. It features Ford's 2-valve, 4.6-liter modular V8 paired with the heavy-duty 4R70E 4-speed transmission and a bulletproof Ford 8.8-inch solid rear axle. The 2003 and newer models received upgraded cast aluminum front suspension crossmembers and rack and pinion steering. The engine produces an unstressed 220 horsepower, operates at remarkably low internal pressures, and will happily run on cheap, regular 87-octane gas for 3 decades. If you want a car that can survive being rear-ended by a truck, soak up potholes like they don't exist, and cost practically $0 in unscheduled maintenance, the Grand Marquis is the king of the road. Number 5, the Mazda 2 1.5L. And if you're looking at compact runabouts, like we broke down in our video on the 17 cars that never break down in the USA, the 2011 to 2014 Mazda 2 is the most underrated subcompact car in the entire American used car market. When people think of cheap subcompacts, they immediately look at the Honda Civic or Toyota Yaris, which command heavy price premiums. The little Mazda 2 gets completely ignored, yet it is one of the most mechanically pure Japanese hatchbacks ever built. Powered by a naturally aspirated 1.5-liter MZR 4-cylinder engine with port injection, the Mazda 2 weighs only 2,300 pounds. Crucially, Mazda equipped this car with either a crisp 5-speed manual or a traditional bulletproof 4-speed torque converter automatic. There are no Jatco CVTs to blow up, no direct injection fuel pump failures, and no electronic steering rack glitches. It handles like a go-kart, achieves 38 miles per gallon on the highway, and uses simple McPherson front struts and a rear torsion beam that last for over 150,000 miles without needing a single bushing replacement. Number 6, the Honda Fit 1.5L. Number 6 is an absolute masterclass in Japanese engineering. The 2007 to 2013 second-generation Honda Fit. Most car buyers in America think small, subcompact cars are flimsy penalty boxes. The Honda Fit is the exact opposite. Honda engineered this vehicle with the high-revving 1.5-liter L15 AI VTEC 4-cylinder engine connected to an ultra-durable 5-speed automatic, or a slick-shifting manual transmission. The L15 engine uses a silent timing chain that never requires replacement under normal service conditions. The only maintenance item this engine ever asks for is a valve lash adjustment every 100,000 miles and fresh spark plugs. Inside, Honda's patented Magic Seat system allows the rear seats to flip entirely flat into the floor or fold up like cinema chairs, giving this tiny hatchback more usable vertical cargo capacity than many modern compact SUVs. It is practically immune to depreciation, sips fuel at 36 miles per gallon, and will easily cruise past 250,000 miles on basic oil changes. If you currently drive one of these 7 cars, or you've put over 200,000 miles on a high-mileage daily driver, drop a comment below and make sure you're subscribed. The real-world mileage data we share in these comments helps thousands of everyday drivers avoid getting ripped off by bad dealership deals. Number 7, the Nissan Versa Manual. Finally, number 7 on our list comes with a massive critical caveat. The 2012 to 2019 Nissan Versa sedan, but only with the factory 5-speed manual transmission. Everyone in the automotive world knows that Nissan's Jatco CVT automatic transmissions from this era were an absolute disaster, failing at 60,000 miles and costing $4,000 to replace. Because of that terrible reputation, the entire Nissan Versa market collapsed in value. And that market crash is your ultimate buying opportunity. When you find a base model Nissan Versa equipped with the 5-speed manual gearbox, you are getting Nissan's HR16DE 1.6-liter naturally aspirated engine paired with an indestructible mechanical manual transmission. With the manual transmission, there is no CVT belt to snap, no valve body solenoids to fail, and no transmission cooler lines to leak. The engine uses dual fuel injectors per cylinder, produces 109 horsepower, and routinely achieves 40 miles per gallon on highway commutes. You can pick up a 2015 or 2016 manual Versa in the United States today for $3,500. Drive it for 5 years with zero depreciation and spend less on parts than a single monthly payment on a new car. At the end of the day, you don't need to drown in an $800 monthly car payment just to get reliable transportation in America. These 7 vehicles prove that when you prioritize proven mechanical simplicity over flashy touchscreens and badge prestige, you can drive for pennies on the dollar and keep thousands of dollars in your own pocket. Tell me in the comments below, what is the single cheapest car you've ever owned that refused to die? If you found this breakdown valuable, drop a like, hit subscribe to Before You Buy, and click the video on your screen right now to see the 12 brand new cars nobody wants in the USA rotting on dealer lots in 2026. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you right over there.